Whether you're a freelancer, maybe you work in social media, or even you own an agency. If you're not using these 5 social media management tools, you're making your life 10 times harder. Here are the top 5 social media management tools that will change your life. Now, I've been offering social media management for the last 5 to 6 years in my business. Right now as a marketing agency, but I actually got my start as a social media management freelancer. So trust me when I say I've had my fair share of good experiences and also really bad experiences. So if you want to save half a decade worth of wasted time and wasted money, make sure you watch until the end. So at number 5, we have Anyword. Now, a lot of people don't know about Anyword, but it's actually a fantastic AI copywriting tool. Now, whether you're writing social media captions, whether you're writing blog posts, whatever it may be, what Anyword will do is it will act as a major support system when it comes to your ideas, when it comes to the captions themselves. So what you can do, you can get the website for your client and put it into Anyword. What Anyword will then do is it will scrape all of the words, all of the content off of the website, and it will actually put together sample pieces of content, sample captions that you can actually use. So what I actually recommend is you don't just get these captions and go and use them directly. What we use it for in our business is actually more help in terms of strategy, angles, and ideas. So every single time we get all of these ideas from Anyword, what we then do is we go and use these ideas, write our own captions, or maybe amend the captions or tweak the ones that have been given to us. But as you can imagine, this is so helpful because if you've had a client that you've worked with for maybe 6 months, 8 months, and you've posted every single day, maybe your ideas are going a bit stale, you need that little bit of support. Anyword is a fantastic way in a few seconds to get all of those ideas to you in as simple as a few clicks. And what you can also do, it can also help with blog writing. Now, if you offer blog writing as a service in addition to your social media services, what you can actually do, there's an actual specific tool inside of Anyword that will write blogs for you. So what you can actually do is go ahead and put in the topic of conversation. So you could say, I want to speak about dog grooming. Then what it will do is it will give you a bunch of ideas in terms of different blog titles and blogs around dog grooming. It could be top 5 tools to use or best 3 things to do when you're grooming your dog. It will scrape all of this from the internet and actually write for you in a few seconds a full blog. Now, as mentioned, you don't want to go and just send this direct to a client if you're charging them $50, $100 a blog. But what you can do is go in there, make the changes and work off of the foundation. And as you can imagine, what this is going to allow you to do is work far smarter and far more efficiently. Number 4, we have Trello. Now, Trello is a fantastic project management tool. Now, a lot of you may have heard of Trello, but I guarantee you're not using it in the most efficient way when it comes to social media management. So basically what Trello does is it allows you to create boards, create cards, create to-do lists, create actions. You can basically do a ton of cool stuff. You can delegate tasks to team members, but ultimately the best way that you can use it for social media management is actually as a content calendar, and ideally specifically around approval processes of that content calendar. Now, if you've got clients, you know what it's like. You send content for approval, they want the changes, they want the caption change, they want this image change, and you can have a ton of back and forth, which delays posting, which delays a bunch of things such as your invoice date, and it can cause a little bit of friction. We've even got feedback from client before saying that this is the most efficient way that they've ever experienced when working with social media managers for actually getting their content approved. What you want to do is you want to go inside of Trello, and inside of Trello you want to create a bunch of different lists. You can have a ton of different ones if you want, specifically around different content ideas. You can even keep your assets in there, whatever it may be. But the number one key thing is you want a list which is basically called for approval, and you want another list next to that which is called approved. And essentially what you do is you create different cards for different posts that are due to go out. And what we usually do is we usually name that card the date that it's going to get posted and the time. So it might say 14th of August at 7 p.m. Then what you do is open up that card and attach the piece of content. What this will then do is it will populate it as the thumbnail of that card. And then what you do is you write the caption inside of the description area. Let's say you want to send your client a whole month's worth of content to approve. You do that for the whole 30-day period. Then what's fantastic about this is you can add your client to that Trello board. They can go through, look at the for approval column, go in, if they're happy, move it straight over to that approved column. Then you can go ahead and schedule it out. Or let's say they want to make a change to the caption. They can go in and they can actually tweak the caption themselves because it's in the description, and they can completely edit it, and then once done, drag and drop into the approved column. And then finally, let's say they have some big major changes that they want you to do, maybe something to do with the graphic or the image, or a bigger change when it comes to the copy. They can go down to the notes section at the bottom and actually leave a note with the request of changes that they want made. But as you can imagine, this whole approval process becomes so much easier. And if you do have team members, maybe you're an agency, you've got designers or content writers, whatever it is as part of your team, what you can actually do is add all of them inside of the board so they can go in and make changes as well themselves. Bonus tip, what you can also do is you can actually get a power up, which is a sort of additional widget, which is called the calendar power up. So then what you can do in the top corner is you can click it and you can actually view all of this in calendar format as well. So number 3, we have Canva. Canva, most people don't have a graphic design or creative background. And if you don't, Canva is a perfect place for you to be able to actually create decent, professional looking images without any real graphic design experience. Look, when I first got started as a social media manager myself back in 2017, I remember working with clients thinking, how on earth am I going to be able to design any graphics? I had no experience in terms of hiring people or any of that stuff back then. So I had to sort of, to a certain degree, kind of try and wing it and actually make some nice looking posts. And Canva was my best friend, because not only can you go on there and there's a ton of pre-populated designs that you can drag and drop images to, change the text on, but it's also such an easy to use interface when it comes to changing fonts, changing font sizes, drag and dropping items, inputting photographs, or basically whatever you need from a graphic design or creative design perspective. You can create content for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, story style content. All of those dimensions are already pre-populated on there, so at a click of a few buttons, you know that you're going to be posting at the right size for that right platform. And honestly, it is a beginner's best friend to graphic design. And saying that, even if you're a more intermediate or expert level designer, Canva definitely still has its place. So if you are creating content, creating social media images or videos for your clients, then Canva is a must use. And of course, it's completely free. All right, at number 2, we then have the sponsor for this video, which is Contentino. So Contentino is a social media management tool for freelancers, for agencies, and it is essentially a scheduling and management software where you can have all of your workflows, all of your posts, all of your team members. You can basically have it as a one-size-fits-all place for all of your social media management needs. And if you do have a team as well, it can work amazing because you can add all of your team members on there, all with different roles, so they can specifically work on different accounts and different client tasks. Now for me, having a social media scheduling tool is literally the most important tool in a social media manager's toolbox. Because trust me, I made this mistake when I first got started out. I would just set alarms on my phone. Okay, 7 o'clock, my phone alarm goes off. I know I need to post for this client, this client, this client. Not only is that a nightmare when you've got clients around the globe, but it's super, super inefficient. One of the actual big benefits of offering social media management as a service is it's somewhat one and done, right? Once you've got all the approval, you've got all the content approved, you can set it up, you can schedule it and trust it to then get posted. So especially when a platform like Contentino is so budget friendly, it makes for a no-brainer, even if it's just from an automation perspective. So once all of that content's approved, you can go onto the platform and schedule it all out at the set dates and the set times across multiple social media platforms. And as you can imagine, that makes your job so much easier. And what's great about this as well, I know I spoke about approval processes and workflows on Trello. If you are using a social media scheduling tool, Contentino also does all of this in one specific tool, which is fantastic. Now for me, I'm a major efficiency guy. The last thing I want is a super complex process where I use some tools over here, some tools over there, some tools over there. The issue with that is complexity fails, simplicity ultimately scales. So sure, whilst the current system you might have works when you've got 1 or 2 clients, as you want to scale, increase your revenue, bring on more clients, you're really going to want to favor one tool that can cover everything for you, and Contentino does just that. And out of all of the social media tools that I've used in my time, in my opinion, Contentino has one of the best user experiences and interfaces. It's super user friendly, it's really clean, really easy to use. And unlike a lot of other social media management tools, Contentino actually allows you to have up to 10 users and up to 40 social media profiles on its standard plan. This actually makes it the most affordable per user tool on the market, which is obviously amazing if you are building an agency. But ultimately, I want you to go and try it. So if you check out the link in the description, you can actually go ahead and get a 14-day completely free trial. Go in there, use it, play around with it, and experience it for yourself. And look, if you do have any additional questions, they've got a fantastic support team as well. So be sure to just drop them a message. And a major thanks once again to Contentino for sponsoring this video. Check it out, and the 14-day free trial in the description down below. And then at number 1, we have Slack. Now look, Slack is a communication tool, and the reason I've put this at number 1 is because let me tell you, when it comes to running any business, but specifically service-based businesses like social media management companies or social media management services, the way that you communicate and having one internal key point of communication is so important. A mistake I made when I first started freelancing was that I would just go out there, get clients, and I would have some clients over on email, some clients would just call me, some would text me, some would be on WhatsApp, a couple of them would be on Slack, some of them would be inside of Trello, some of them would be on Asana. And what would happen is, again, it would be massive complexity. So what I love with Slack is not only can you use it for internal communication with your team and with your contractors, but you can also create private channels and have private chats just for your clients. So what we have internally, which is fantastic, is we have a section on our Slack where all our clients are. So rather than just getting a text, an email, and missing things and miscommunication and all this stuff, we have it all in one place. Not only does that make it far more efficient, but it means we can actually offer a better service, because because we're getting back to our clients faster. We're able to attach files inside of Slack. We can send voice notes inside of Slack. You can even call clients inside of Slack if you want to. And you can sync it with all your favorite apps like Google Drive. So basically your documents and everything populate directly inside of there. Because social media posting to a certain degree and the content and the captions are somewhat subjective and up to the opinion of the client, there is a lot of back and forth. And this is why I've discussed about those approval processes being so important. If you don't have good communication, are able to set proper expectations, are able to go back and forth with a client to understand their vision, if you're not able to do that in an efficient manner because you're waiting 2 days response at a time over email, then you're going to lose the client. You're going to churn through them because they just won't be happy. Social media management ultimately is a people business, and because of that, your communication is extremely important. And honestly, without a great communication tool like Slack, you'll be leaving a ton of money on the table. So there we have it. Now you can officially run your social management business with ease with all the tools that you need. And a major thanks once again to Contentino for sponsoring this video. The link to the 14-day free trial will be in the description down below. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to check out this one here. I'm sure you'll love it, and subscribe over here for more content just like this.